Very uncool, UbiSoft. Very uncool. I'm telling you, when I do a video about something and UbiSoft just happens to make it happen in a video game, the first time, it's coincidence. The second time is pretty uncanny and strange. But the third time, you guys got your eye on me. What's up, everybody? I'm Darkstrider, the YouTube Assassin, and I'm going to give you guys a list of things that I have called or I have made videos about that UbiSoft has put into motion. The latest thing has to deal with Valhalla, so there are going to be very huge spoilers for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm Darkstrider, the YouTube Assassin. Let's get into this. So once again, I'm just putting this out there that I want you guys to understand that there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this video with regards to the past 3 Assassin's Creed games, Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins. It's really crazy. When Origins first came out and I played through the game, I made a couple of videos where I was questioning certain things. One of the things that I had questioned was the timeline of Assassin's Creed after playing Assassin's Creed 2 and seeing that you were in the basement of Ezio's home in Monterione. It was kind of weird. And the reason I say that it's weird is because we end up seeing previous assassins. Now, in that video that I did, we already established that those assassins came before Bayek. They weren't actual assassins. They were spiritual predecessors that pretty much were the basis for what the assassins were looking into, or what the assassins stood for. It was really, really wild. Now, the thing was that at that time, Odyssey was just being, like teased. People were saying, yeah, you're going into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This is the time period. This is what's going on. And when I looked at it, I says, you know what? According to actual history and the records that we're presented with in Assassin's Creed 2, when you go into Monterione's basement and you see the other assassins, I put a video together and I figured, you know what? I think that in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we may be playing as Darius. So, obviously, fast forward, that's not the case. We don't play as Darius, but Darius was involved in Assassin's Creed Odyssey in a couple of different ways. We first catch wind of Darius when we play the little bonus setting that they gave us for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It was called The Prince of Persia, and it actually dealt with Cersei's brother, who is a blind prince, or he would be king. He disappeared. The whole reason was that Darius was there to kill him. And rather than kill him, he escaped, but Darius was still hot on his trail. Now, that was the first instance. Later on, we actually get the Legacy of the Hidden Blade DLC, and it's a 3-parter which actually gave us Darius, what he did, how he killed Xerxes, what was going on. He obviously looked way different than he did in the basement of Monterione, but they still kept the kind of narrative, the story. It was pretty much the same. He had the hidden blade, and it was above his hand, not below it, and it was pretty wild. So that was the first instance that we heard of Darius in this game. The point is that Darius was in the game. Another video that I did involved Cassandra and Aya. Aya, who would have been born years and years and years and years after Assassin's Creed Odyssey. In Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Cassandra meets Darius's grandson or son, and they end up falling in love. They have a baby. That baby escapes with Darius back to Persia and then grows up to be some kind of ancestor to Aya herself. So Bayek's wife in Assassin's Creed Origins, her lineage is actually Cassandra's. She is Cassandra's great whatever granddaughter, and that's another thing that I had made a video on, that they decided to like kind of use that idea. Now, I don't know that Ubisoft actually is using my ideas, but it's kind of wild. Now, Assassin's Creed Valhalla has the final straw, and I'm going to tell you why. When Assassin's Creed Origins was still in its heyday, I did a video on Reda here, in which I said, is this guy immortal? Is he? Because he does not talk about his parents, he doesn't talk about his lineage, he doesn't talk about anything, but he's old enough and wise enough to run a freaking Nomad's Bazaar. He has legendary weapons that he's accumulated. He's got all this stuff. How does he have all this stuff, and why has nobody been out there to kill him? Like, what is going on? Unless he's been laying low. He's been under the radar. Now, on that video, in fact, all three of those videos were very controversial because a lot of people commented. Some people thought I was crazy about Darius. Boom, we get Darius. Some people thought I was crazy about the connection between Aya and Cassandra, even though I said that they were not related. Boom, all of a sudden they're related. And now this final thing with Reda, where I said this guy has to be immortal. In fact, linking Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Watch Dogs, all three series, linking them together, even going so far back as a Far Cry Primal, to say, is it a stretch to say that maybe Reda was alive during these times, during prehistoric times, and somehow gained some kind of knowledge, got in touch with an artifact or something, and became immortal somehow? And everybody thought that I was just nuts. I was reading too far into it, whatever. Meanwhile, I'm going to let you know right now, Reda is in Valhalla. Valhalla takes place 900 years after the events of Origins, and Reda is still alive. How is that? I've already called it. He has to have come into contact with a piece of Eden, with one of the Isu artifacts, and somehow is still around. Now, I'm going to continue to play it and see what happens. I'm going to see if maybe he's not the actual Reda, but a descendant. You know, what is he? How is he there? How is he still there? But he's there. How did this happen? Why did this happen? What is going on? And this is the third time that something that I suggested has been done in these Assassin's Creed video games. In all three of them. Everything that like I've talked about as happened, it's been absolutely phenomenal. What is going on? Am I psychic? My whole thing is I just really do enjoy the games, and I really do enjoy, you know, kind of like making these theory pieces and these kind of like talk pieces, because I really do enjoy really mixing it up, talking with everybody, seeing what everybody thinks. And, you know, I really do it just for discussion. I'm not doing it because, like, you know, I want you to believe that, like, I'm psychic. I want you to, you know, say that, you know, oh, you know, Darkstrider has an insider or whatever, you know. And in fact, there were a couple of viewers who are lawyers, different kinds, that have told me that I've got a lawsuit against Ubisoft. I don't want to sue Ubisoft. I'm not going to sue Ubisoft. I actually enjoy that. But, you know, give me a shout out, Ubisoft. Put me in the freaking game as like a freaking an assassin, a character, one of the things trying to kill Ivor. That would be fun, you know. But it's just like completely phenomenal how all these ideas come about, and yet they're somehow finding their way into Ubisoft games. Maybe I'll start doing other Ubisoft games and theories on them just to see if they end up in the games. And then that would be kind of like intense. That would be kind of wild. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I know a lot of you believe that Ubisoft does watch my videos, especially when I show glitches or whatever, or secrets. They usually patch it really quick. And there are a lot of people that get mad at me because they believe that I am the cause for that. And some people just really do believe that Ubisoft is watching some of my stuff and, you know, like making, you know, like notes and doing stuff like that. I'm not in any way trying to say that I am responsible for anything and everything that Ubisoft comes up with. I just want you guys to take a look at the similarities, and I'll be posting in the comments below those videos so that you can peruse, so that you can make a judgment on your own, and you'll see the date and timestamps where they're old. They're really old. They predate Odyssey and obviously Valhalla. So what is going on? Anyway, once again, like I said, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Other than that, I really do hope you enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out an awful lot. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And until the next one, take care, be good.